Alright, let's go take a look. Don't think I had anything going on. I think everything was done. Is there a quick way to... I don't actually think there's a quick way to tell, but we'll just go with it. Don't have any barns to look at, so let's look at car auctions, see if I can find anything I like there. And maybe I will find my dream car. I am keeping, there's two cars I'm currently keeping an eye out. One is more to find out what the price of it's going to be. And the other I am hoping to find. I don't really care what the condition of it is, but I am basically looking to find a Datsun 280. I don't know why these McLaren F1s are so common. Well, there are other cars that I basically just have never actually seen. All right, well, let's see if I can get this Supra. Yes, the stream has just started. You are the first person here. All right, let's start the auction on it. I think this is gonna be my last bid. Nah, we are giving up on that. Think. Hey, Michael, how's it going? Yeah, I think we are going to go to the junkyard. None of the cars there were ones I really cared about. And that means it is, since I'm going to be buying them to restore them and sell them, the condition they come in doesn't matter. So, no, Milo Girl isn't. I'm pretty sure she was the first person here. She is certainly the first comment. Oh. Oh. And we found a Supra. How much is a Supra going to cost us? Buying price $32,000. That's a lot. We will leave that for now. 55 degrees, that's a bit of a chilly day. You can get it for cheap, but not worth restoring much. Now, this is not a car that's going to be worth a ton, but it is a kind of cool car, so might be worth picking it up. Heavy rain. Oh. Now, this is also another nice car, the Bolt Reptilia. Basically, it is a older Chevy Corvette. A lot of older cars are actually not bad. Would not be bad to restore. But for none of them are ones that I'm super interested in. If I'm just doing it for money, the Supra is probably going to give better turnaround for my time to time basically time put in versus money I take out of it is probably gonna be better. You're all ready for Thanksgiving? Yeah, Miley girl. I was road tripping the other day, so I had Reese's cups for my trip. Seemed like the right thing to have. Well, since there's nothing else here that I'm super excited about, what I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the knockoff Toyota Supra and the modded Toyota Supra, and we'll take both of them, and we can compare the two of them. I have not. I have not heard of the Texas U-turn on the highway system in Texas. Okay, so it's first things first, let's wash them. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's also move this over to the car wash. It's definitely not. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anything like it. It's not a thing I see out here, that's for sure. Okay, time to start getting these completely pulled apart. Oh, I didn't actually want to get into the car. I want to pull the interior out. I don't want to be doing that quite yet. Okay. Need to pull out all of these fuses and relays before I can pull out the box. That looks like everything that we really need to pull out from the top, so let's get that lifted up. And I think there's actually nothing that we need to grab from the top on this one, so we'll get that lifted as well. Yeah, I've never made it so far south on the highways as to be on the roads anywhere near Texas, so I am definitely not familiar with how you guys do things around there. Say, well, I think you're wrong, Milo girl. Today is definitely a Reese's Cup day. I still have many Reese's Cups from the weekend. Every day should be a Reese's Cup day. There is definitely a very loose plan for me to go down to Louisiana at some point. I think my destination is not actually in Louisiana, but it is right on the border. So I'd definitely be able to make it through Texas on that drive. It's gonna be a long drive. It's gonna be, if this trip ends up happening, it will be 3 full days of driving. But we'll see. So a lot of things that need to line up for a trip that long to be worth it. And I also do need to decide whether I'm going to be going far enough south to be traveling through Texas on that, or if I'm going to be going west and then or sorry, going east and then just connect over to basically head down to I'm trying to remember what the city is called. Cannot remember off the top of my head right now. But basically, I'd be coming. Basically, I'd be skipping Texas and coming down just east of Texas. Oh. So I too want to go on a mini vacation. Been making a lot of trips, but none of them have been vacations. Alright, so now that engine will be able to come out. Time to pull apart the... That was the Supa that we're pulling apart. Now time to pull apart the Supra. This is a very similar rear structure. I wonder if they actually are pretty much identical. Well, if you figure out where to go for Reese's Cup Land, let me know, because I feel like I could go on vacation to Reese's Cup Land. Or maybe Skittle Land. So as long as Skittle Land doesn't recognize your Skittle ban. I'm okay with mini directions to mini Reese's Cup Land. So that is actually, I've been in Texas a few times, but every time I've been in Texas, I have only, like, the furthest I've made it is, like, I've never made it farther than a mile from Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas airport. Well, Mile Girl, I think I'm willing to take that risk. I think I'm willing to try to go and see if I can sneak in. Yeah, but if I get put in mini jail sneaking into Skittles land, still I'm gonna go to jail after having gotten close to Skittles, so it's worth the risk. Because just staying away from Skittles is definitely not worth it. Because staying away from Skittles means you don't get Skittles. 100% not worth it. But yeah, actually, I'm trying to think. I've flown through. Basically, I've had a lot of layovers in basically Dallas, and there is actually a restaurant that I really like in the Dallas airport. I always try to go there every time I'm flying through. So well, if I get a mini life sentence, then I don't think there's going to be any more streams. So I think that's just a lose-lose situation the whole way around. Yeah, if the mini jail in Skittles Land serves Skittles, then I'm happy to be in prison in Skittle Land. No, I don't think that's the way it's going to work. I'm just not going to be able to stream, and then the punishments will just get more harsh. It'll be a vicious cycle. And that makes me realize I could be having Skittle flavored water right now, and I am not. I'm doing things wrong. I mean, you are right. The streams won't stop because my brother will still be able to stream because he's not on a Skittle ban and going to Skittle jail. The only person who could take away my Skittle water would be Crafting Spirit, and I don't think Crafting Spirit is aware of the Skittle ban. Alright, so let's pull out the engine. Now this car should have nothing in it. Yep, that looks correct. All of the parts are out. So that engine is out. I do still need to remove the interior. There. So now this car should also have nothing in it. But I am wrong. So I still have body window in. Oh, yeah, missed that. And rear clamshell. What am I missing back here? Whatever it is, it should be visibly damaged. It's not in particularly good shape. Is it an internal part? No, there's no internal parts left in this. It's got to be an exterior part. I don't know. Gonna have to quickly look this up. Yeah, it doesn't. Doing a quick Google search, I don't find it. I don't know what's going on there. I feel like this might be bugged. I mean, I like Minneapolis, so I feel like this is not the worst case scenario. I keep getting. Yeah, I feel like something is bugged out and it's not actually letting me remove the last part. Okay, well, we will just have to carry on. I might. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, that is totally what I meant to do. Yes. So all I need to do is find some way to hide Skittles in apples, and Milo Girl will never know that I'm having Skittles. Be like caramel apples, but instead it will be, instead of caramel, that will be coated in Skittle. Yeah, you're gonna have to check every apple. You never know when they might have Skittles in it. And as soon as you've checked all the apples, I'll make sure that I've got the Skittles hidden elsewhere. Skittles are small and easy to hide. There it is. I think that's the last bolt for this head. It is not. This, oh, there it is. And that's a problem I actually have in real life as a tech, is I think I got every bolt. And then you realize, no, you haven't. And now you have to go and try to figure out what bolt you've missed. I mean, well, this one's already down to just the block. Yeah, really not a lot left on that one. I am a mechanic, yep. I was a dealership tech for 10 years, and now I work on light equipment, stuff like forklifts. Although I guess forklifts are sometimes not light equipment. I have definitely worked on the large type of forklifts they use to move containers. Those are most certainly not light. Alright, time to repair a bunch of stuff. And some of this stuff is probably not worth repairing, as you can buy it for pretty cheap. But some of the stuff is also very expensive and totally worth repairing. Like this part right here is definitely worth repairing for the few dozen dollars it's going to cost me. So, well, I don't know if Milo Girl's going to be able to check your 40 acres for hidden Skittles, but I know I will. Now that I'm on the Skittle ban, got to search every last corner for more Skittles. Like right here, transmission, I'm going to spend a couple $100 fixing it. Each of these attempts to cost me a bit over $100. But I put probably about $250 into repairing that transmission, which is, it's probably a couple, it's got to be at least a couple grand to buy the new transmission. Let's actually swap out another brake rudder. See, I like this plan, Michael. We get Milo Girl searching every inch of the property, and then the Skittles are hidden elsewhere. You keep her so busy checking for Skittles in big areas that she can't catch all the Skittles everywhere else. See, this is the problem with law enforcement. It's always harder to find the contraband than it is to just hide more contraband. Yeah, so this head is going to cost me... Oh. Head's going to cost me a lot of money because I just destroyed it. Oh. Lost a few parts there. Then yeah, I think that is all I can do for repair there. Alright, let's go shopping. Okay, so I need the turbo version of that. So, spend $2,000 on the block. Need 2 crankshafts. And we're going to need 12 piston rings. As well as 12 pistons. It's a lot of pistons. 1 cylinder head. And then I want to say, so camshaft caps, I want to say there was 14 of those. Okay. I should just be able to put... Sometimes it gets a little bit finicky with trying to actually build a new motor on here. There. Add that to the list. Yeah, it's going to be really hard to look for Skittles in the dark. Might be best to look for the Skittles by smell. Actually surprised I've got parts for that. Well, I had one of the required parts, but now I need 4 more. No, I don't need anything to shop list. I need to actually go shopping. I'm assuming I'm going to need 2 of most of this, but we'll see. Yeah, of course, alternator's not on this list. We'll only grab one of those just in case it's separate for the other one, or different for the other one, but I don't think it will be. So we'll need 12 rod caps. And we'll need 9. Hold on. Let's go looking for electronics. We'll need 9 of the crankshaft journals. Because we need 4 more on this, and we'll need 5 on the next engine. I feel like in 120 degree heat, the Skittles might not survive. They may get a little bit melty. I sure know the Reese's aren't going to survive. I mean, I'd be willing to dissolve Skittles into water and drink it. You can pretend like I wouldn't, but everyone knows I would. Now I probably need the same oil pan for both, but alright, and the head goes on. So at this point we have the core of what makes an engine actually here. Definitely still not in a functional way. Because we don't have any of those parts. And not even that. Well, time to do some more shopping. Let's just search for oil pans and see if there's different oil pans for the... Yeah, I think there is just going to be the one oil pan for both motors. So we'll buy two. And there's no way this oil pan would be held on by 4 bolts. You wouldn't have 1 bolt in each corner. You'd probably have, I would guess at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd say you'd have a minimum of 8 bolts down the side, probably another 3 along the front. And the back, you might actually only have the 2. Of course, I distracted myself from shopping, didn't I? Get 3 of those camshafts. Because I can't imagine the actual physical camshafts being different in game. In real life, those would be different camshafts between these 2 different engines. I mean, there's a possibility they wouldn't be, but a turbo motor is built quite differently from a non-turbo motor. They would not have the same pistons like they do in the game, that's for sure. So once again, I shouldn't say that as a for sure thing. It does happen, it's just not common. There's Skittles in the mills. I agree. Crankshaft journals, basically where the bearings. So if you see up here, we have camshaft journals. What they are is these little caps. They have where they go around this shaft. They're very carefully machined. The clearance is very, very specific, and that is called a bearing journal. So a crankshaft has bearing journals, a camshaft has bearing journals. Any place where you need to have a very tight clearance fit, you'll have journals. I did not know the names for a lot of these different things for a very long time. I basically went to trade school before I knew what most of the stuff was called. And before I really learned, like it wasn't like engines are one of those things where as somebody who was interested in cars, I kind of had an idea of how they worked, how they went together. But it wasn't until I basically went to trade school and actually took an engine apart that I really started to understand how everything really fits together and how everything works on a deeper level than just the basics. Somewhere I am missing them. There. That's the bolt I was missing. Now I buy one of those because I think that's going to be different. Now, these are probably not going to be different from one to the other, but I will hold off on buying that rest of that stuff. You know, Milo Girl, this Skittle ban just starting to seem more and more like it's just not worth enforcing. Life would just be much easier for everyone if you just let me have Skittles. So it'll be easy to forget that you've got Skittles out in the acres until you start basically seeing the Skittle plants grow the next summer. I think that's how I'm currently getting around the Skittle ban, is I just insist that they are not mini Skittles. Mini Skittles are totally different than regular Skittles. So this is why I'm building and collecting fast sports cars, so that way when the Skittles police come, I can outrun them in a high speed mini pursuit. All right, that is one mini engine put together. So we'll take that one off the stand, and we will start building a new one. All right. The same idea as the last one, except this one is not a turbo engine. Yeah, so down here we have the rod journals, which is the connecting rod, is what keeps your piston moving in your engine. And then between each of the pistons, there is a crankshaft bearing, which has a crankshaft bearing journal. Hey Juan, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not sure what climate skittle trees prefer to grow in. Yes, gotta get the early skittle harvest. Okay. Now, stuck at the border trying to get back into Canada, or stuck at the border trying to get into the States? Suppose it doesn't really matter, seeing as stuck is still just stuck. Oh, I did not add that to the shopping list, but I need that. All right. Put that head down. Okay, yeah, so you're trying to get down to the States to deliver a load and you've been just stuck at the border. Is it just... Let's see, did you... Oh, broker messed up the paperwork? Yep. And there's Michael asking the real questions. We must know if they're big, mini, or normal. Oh, so wait, you're crossing into the States, but you're not carrying all of your load yet, or are you going to have to go to the States, deliver something, and then go back into Canada, head east, and then cross the border again? Oh, no, let's not put that in. So I need 14 more of those. Oh, these are two different exhaust manifolds. The front three are a different exhaust manifold from the rear three, which is, I think, actually accurate to how the Supra exhaust manifolds goes. Okay, so one of the paperwork says it's going to cross in Detroit, but it's not going to. See, yeah, that's where you just tell them, yep. They give them, you'll head to Detroit and they can have the paperwork figured out by the time you get there. Although I imagine they would probably get pretty cranky and not want to pay you to go to Detroit. So I don't think Milo deserves her delivery of Reese's Cups. She's being mean with the Skittle ban. So I like this. I like a full load of Skittles. So I'm not the one being mean. I'm the one who's being attacked. I'm the one who's being robbed of my right to eat Skittles. Wait a minute. I think I just made a realization. I don't think I put a fuel rail on the last engine. Now, it seems to be a pretty simple throttle body, but that's a pretty beefy spring there on the side. Alright, well, I think we are ready to pull that engine off. Time to drop the engines back into the cars. Now, I could actually install either one of these engines in either car. You could take a turbo engine out and put a non-turbo engine in. I do enjoy that the game will allow you to do that, because in real life, yeah, there's nothing stopping you from putting a different engine in than the one that came out. Yeah, right there it is, missing fuel rail. All right, now we see if we have enough fuses and relays to actually fill this box. So I do think I actually understand the core idea of a Texas U-turn, but yeah, like they are weird to say the least. Like I've never actually seen one in real life, but I think I have come across them in videos before. The bit where you are basically going against traffic strikes me as odd. Okay, so one fuel rail. That engine will actually be done. I'll only buy one of each because I don't actually know what I'm going to need for the other stuff yet. Like I don't know if the other car is going to need the same bits and pieces. They are based off the same car, but they are not actually the same car. All right, we'll buy a stack of these. No point in buying individual ones. Yeah, the battery, I'm pretty sure I can just go ahead and buy the same battery. And batteries are definitely those things in real life. You can just kind of toss whatever battery in and it will work pretty well. There are batteries that are going to do the job better, that are going to fit the needs of a particular car better, but you can kind of just toss in whatever and it will work. Yes, I am at least one. So I will have one timeout. Milo Girl is a mod, yes. But I don't actually think Milo Girl has a way to silence me, so I cannot be stopped. Wait, I need to not leave that. I need fuse box cover. Okay, so that car put back together. Could not fix that. Could not fix that. I think I could actually fix the headlights. Yep, both of them. Oh, there was a lot I could not fix on this car. But there was some stuff that I could fix. wait, did I miss an ABS module? This car's gotta have ABS. Yes, right there. Missed the ABS module. That is okay. Let's go shopping. Oh wait, the ABS module's under electronics. Of course it is. But I will need this for both of them. Good ideas are overrated. I also did not actually install the ECU. There. That's one thing that's kind of weird is there's no air filter put up in the Supra. There certainly should be. Hey, time to go shopping for more things. Alright, the rest that's all going to be in here. Yes, even Juan is voicing his support for Free the Skittles. You're outnumbered, Milo. It's you against the world. I currently have one Reese's Cup. I also have more than one Reese's Cup, but I have at least one Reese's Cup. I have one or more Reese's Cup. But they are mini Reese's Cup. Yeah, I feel like there is a small possibility I may one day drive Texas highways, but it is not a very high chance. I may as well buy a stack of these. I always go through a bunch. Okay, what do I have left? I have that one fuse to put in, and then I will need this cover, because I won't have it. So cops everywhere, all over the freeway. Generally, I have to admit, I don't find, like, I don't understand why cops are on the freeway. Most of the time, when the freeway is just flowing, it's kind of doing its own thing. There isn't much to enforce. It's when there are intersections and other things to deal with, that's where people do dumb things. Okay, so I have a left door, 2 headlights, and a left taillight. So there's a lot of stuff I do not have. So time to buy most of the bodywork for a Supra, which will not be in here because it is a modded car. There it is. Gotta buy ourselves a nice big wing. Well, let's buy ourselves this front bumper. Then we don't need a left door, but we do need fenders and windows. Right door. We'll go with a carbon fiber hood. Why not? We'll go with bumper E. Now I've got the rear left fender. I need the rear right fender. And we'll go with trunk E. There we go. We should have all the parts we need. Oh, yeah, I feel like that's actually that's like, I kind of support that idea. Cops just being at construction sites, because people who just blow through construction sites really agitate me. I don't mind speeding. That is not a good place and time for speeding. Okay, yes, so I did get matching taillights. So I need a state or a province for that license plate. Where should these 2 cars be from? Should they be from the same license plate destination, or should they be from different areas? All right, so I've got the hood. I have a door. I'm missing most everything else. Okay, so I've got the hood, the right door. And is that everything? Hood and right door. Okay. So I think the ant police would be too slow, though. See, the problem is that Juan is mini and he is fast. Ants are just mini. Okay, time to go shopping for a license plate. All right. Got Alabama, Alaska. Could get an Alberta plate. Could get a Delaware plate. Very simple dark plate. The Colorado plate's kind of nice. So now I refuse to see another Supra with a red plate on it. I'll accept all reasonable options. Alberta is not a reasonable option. Maryland, War of 1812. I don't think Maryland won the War of 1812. I mean, I guess no one really won or lost the War of 1812, despite the White House getting burnt down. Now, I feel like I could give these both Montana plates. I'd be okay with Montana plates. Actually, you know, Wyoming. Wyoming has pretty plates. We'll we'll go with Wyoming. All right, time to go up. All right, so I need a bunch of front shock absorbers. and a bunch of front springs, and a bunch of caps. But I also need tires and I need rims. Now the rims are both bad for that car. I don't have good rims from the Supa. Oh, no, I have one good rim. All right, well, that's fine. Now, where is the tire from that one good rim? If I can't find that tire, then I'm not going to be able to figure this out. I feel like rice and beans, ground beef. I could be very happy eating those for quite some time. Ah, there's what I was looking for. All right, so first things first. All right, so yes, I have one good rim. So I need to go rim shopping. So I need that, but I need them with a 0 offset in 17-inch. I can do that. And then 4 of these, they were, what was that? 19? 0 offset. Okay. Then let's go looking at tires. All right, 255. So hold on, these are 30s? Yeah, 255, 30, 19. And we need 4 of those. And then this is the same tire, isn't it? Yeah, same tire. But these are going to be in a 17. Still 255. But a 40. At least if yes, I did get that right. Cool. Time to put some tires together. Which means I need to check out here. Hashtag free the Skittles. I feel like I'd support moving the actually before no, dang, I did not mean to do that. Just need to figure out where Penticton is before I decide whether. No, I do not support moving the border to the 50th parallel. We are just south of the 50th parallel. I don't want to. I don't want to live in Washington. Wait, dang it! I'm taking stuff apart. I don't want to take things apart. I want to put things together. Say, do you really think you can ban everyone from Skittles, Milo Girl? I mean, you probably can. I'm just asking if you think you can. Oh, no point in joining those. That's all garbage. So, yeah, we've got 4 good shock absorbers. Excellent. Once again, I mean, that was not the worst balancing. I would begrudgingly accept that balancing. It's not good balancing, but it could be worse. Nope, this is unacceptable balancing. Terrible. Redo it. Not good enough. I will complain about the balancing every single time in this game. Nope. Bad tire. If you can't balance it better than that, there's a problem with the tire. Try again. Also, you're just not good at balancing if you're doing that. Oh, so we've got all of the tires. It's just a case of balance them all now. So you want to privatize Skittle prisons? I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, we were doing so good. We were doing half reasonable. Oh, terrible balancing. Just awful. Nope, not acceptable. Should be ashamed of yourself. Freeze the Skittles? But frozen Skittles are hard to eat. I can't support that. Alright, time to start putting all of this back together. Oh yeah, so Jeff, if you have not noticed, I am basically building a Supra and a knockoff Supra. So the Supra motor that they've also, so they use the Supra motor for the knockoff Skyline, but I guess it was originally designed, like I'm assuming that the first part that they designed it for was for the knockoff Supra, which is why it looks like a JZ2 engine. I think that's the correct order of the letters. I don't actually know because I don't really care about the Supra engine. Nope, let's not do that. Let's not put a busted up rusty part in the car. Sour Skittles are good Skittles. I forget, I remember having a pack of Skittles once that were like a special one-off pack of Skittles that were not great. They were not terrible, but they really could have been better. But most Skittles are good Skittles. So how can I be addicted to Skittles? I can't even have Skittles. What, you dare me to put a rusted up part inside a new car? Why would I do that to myself? I don't think I would like to do that to myself. You dare me to share the photos that you have put in off topic? Nope. Nope, not gonna do that. That's not safe for work. That's not safe for life. Oh, dang it. I said I don't have to share anything. I said I am saving you all from having to see that. I said I had to see it, but no one else should have to. Okay, I think it's time for another shopping trip. Yeah, probably don't actually need two of those because they will be, the other car will not have an intercooler because it is not turbo. Oh, did not grab any of those, so we'll add it to the shopping list. I also did not grab any of those. Also added to the shopping list. Yeah, I don't know how you always seem to have so many toenail issues. I am glad that I do not have the toenail problems that you do have. I just leveled up. We'll spend that. So available 6 skill points. We will spend it on running faster. Because why not? Because the only things I have are move faster, Eagle Eye, which cuts time to examine parts, and also increasing screwing speed. Which I've got most of the upgrades there, just not the last one. Say, well, on Saturday after you see it, you can thank me for having tried to protect you from it. All right, need some fuel pumps to go into the fuel tanks. Only one per car. I would say obviously, but there are actually cars that have multiple fuel pumps. There's actually cars that have multiple fuel tanks, just because it's the way they were designed. There wasn't enough room to just put the fuel tank in one spot. I mean, that sounds accurate. Juan tried kicking something, and he is too mini in order to be able to actually kick it, so it hurt his mini toenail. Okay, so I need springs. Oh yeah, and I need those. Nope, that's not where I meant to go, but we can install the starter while we're here. Nope, nope, we're not putting in the rusty part, we're putting in the shiny new part. Oh, nope, we are not putting in old rubber bushings. Pretty sure we're gonna need 4 of those, so we'll just do that. Pretty sure we're gonna need a ton of those, so we'll just buy a stack. We'll buy at least 4 of those. And 4 of those. Only one of those. I don't know what we're gonna need on the other side. 2 fuel pumps. 4 rear springs. And 4 sway bar links. I mean, it definitely looks like the sort of thing that probably should hurt. Wait, is Juan like an ant where he can't feel pain because there's not enough nervous? He's too mini for a proper nervous system. Makes sense to me. installing dirty old rusty parts. I need to get rid of them. Also, this is the wrong order to do things. You don't install a fuel pump and then, or install the fuel tank and then install the fuel pump. Often you have to actually remove the fuel tank in order to install or to remove the fuel pump. There's a lot of things that you kind of install backwards in this game. Oh wow, that ant is significantly bigger than one. He's really mini. Okay, not a lot on the shopping list, but important stuff. So we'll go ahead and get those. And then we can put, wait, that's not the right. I want these tires. Nope, that's not mismatch the wheels. I wouldn't know how long it takes for toenails to grow back because I've never lost a toenail. I feel like that's a uniquely one problem. Nope, they keep wanting me to install the wrong tires. Let's not do that. Oh, did I still not install the fill rail? It's just crazy, I keep forgetting. Oh, and I did not buy more rubber bushings. We need, let's buy some more rubber bushings, and then we'll buy a stack of mini rubber bushings. Alright, time to put all of this stuff into this car. Yeah, there are certain things that hold up better to time. I can see beef in general being finicky on that. Yeah, I feel like I would probably just tape down the toenail so at least the socks aren't going to pull at it, because that sounds uncomfortable. Also sounds like more things than just uncomfortable, but definitely also uncomfortable. Okay, time to go shopping again. Some expensive parts in here. Do we need, I think I need 2 of those, so we'll buy 2. More expensive stuff like transmissions tend to not be cheap. I think that's a buy 2. Same with that. Not so much with these. I say, but they wouldn't be micro socks. They would just be mini socks. I thought we had some of the stuff in, but apparently I'm missing things. Say, but we wear regular size socks. If Juan is mini, he would be wearing mini socks. If you give him micro socks, they'll be mini on mini Juan. That's too many minis. All right, install the transmission. And we also need a new drive shaft. A lot of, also need this, also need this. Okay, so I need the pistons, and I'll also need, or not the pistons, I need calipers, and I'll also need caliper pistons, or caliper cylinders. No one calls them caliper cylinders in real life, but in this game that is what they refer to them as. So that's not a lot of minis, that's too many minis. It's too many macro micro minis. You'll get lost in all the mini minis. Okay, time to go shopping. Pretty sure I need 2 of those. Don't know if I need 2 of those or 1 of those. We'll go with 1 for now. Definitely need 2 of those. Not so sure, but we'll go 2. We'll go 4 of those. Only 1 drive shaft. one middle muffler. Already own enough bushings for right now. Then I need a brake caliper. I also need the brake caliper cylinder. Because the cylinder is something that goes into the caliper. It's what actually pushes. This little round piece right here holds the cylinder and is what it actually pushes the brake pads into the brake rudder. It's what actually applies the pressure that lets your brakes work. But I needed 2 cylinders, not just 1. I also need rear axles. Yeah, it's definitely in this game, I spend a lot of time rebuilding cars, which means there's a lot of parts that come apart. But because of the fact that the way this game handles everything, it's not necessarily clear what is always going on. So you can't see, with the body of the car being invisible, you can't actually see where all the stuff sits in the car quite as well. Okay, time to go shopping more. Oh, I need 2 more of those. It helps if I spell it correctly. And 2 more of those. I don't remember how much money I started the day with, but it was significantly more than I have now. I've spent a lot of money on these. I think I've spent close to $100,000 rebuilding these 2 cars. I mean, this is definitely one of those games, if someone was interested in learning more about how car mechanics works, this game is just barely accurate enough that you could actually learn quite a bit from playing it. But if you're not really interested in learning how car mechanics works, then it would definitely be a lot of effort to learn how to play just to be playing something that you're not super interested in. But as somebody who like I do enjoy working on cars. Being a car mechanic has as a job has its days where it sucks. But it's one of those things where it is not worth doing as a job unless you actually do enjoy it. Like, it is one of those things of playing this game will, like, looking, like, having that an engine apart and seeing how all the parts go together does help. Now, the game doesn't explain why anything is where it is. It's just you have to put a rod cap on. Never explains to you what a rod cap does. Also, a part is broken. That's all it will be, is just the part is broken. It doesn't ever tell you why the part is broken or how the part is broken. But no, it's slightly harder. So I play it on hard mode just because I feel like, as a mechanic, that's a fair thing to do. But if you play it on easy mode, it will actually hold your hand a lot more. There are certain times though that like when you're repairing a car, not just rebuilding a car, where it won't very well explain what is going on. But as a mechanic, I can basically look at what they've asked, basically what they've said is wrong, and go, oh, I know what the solution is. I know where I should look, even though the game does not tell you that. But I figure as a non-mechanic, that if you're into car mechanics, that bit of puzzling, the bit of trying to figure out what's gone wrong, could be very much fun in its own way. Okay, so seat 4, leather D, steering wheel 4, 12, and bench Supa. What's that? Okay, steering wheel 12. Put the interior in the car. And then before I forget, because I've forgotten this several times already, fuel rail needs to go in the car. Now this is one thing it definitely does not I wish in real life is that I could have I think we'll just actually try the same stuff we just did. Yeah, in real life, you can put a car together and just be missing things. And I wish that was not how it worked. Because you can have a lot of weird problems for having put something together wrong or not having put everything quite together right. All right, so we can't actually drive these yet because they don't have fluids in it. Okay. Juan does make a good point. We're American too. We all live in North America. Everyone who lives in the American continents is actually American. Yeah, the United States is simply the very like basically there's no actual name for the United States other than United States of America. It's each individual names. The states are individual, if not independent. The USA is a description more than a name. A description can be a name, and in this case it is, but it is a name simply because there is not a name that is better than the description. Alright, I have done most. There, just need to put in brake fluid. Okay, now these cars need to go get painted, which is not the order you want to do things. You don't want to have the car finished and then go paint it. Now, should I paint both these cars the same color or different colors? Okay, so we'll do this one red. And then we will do this one blue, I think. All right, we'll do that. Just a little bit of overspray. Okay, maybe like all of the overspray. Oh, there. So this is the knockoff original version that was released with the game, and this is a modded Toyota Supra. It's they're close enough that you can kind of tell that they're supposed to be the same car. But there's also enough differences that they don't quite look like the same car. Like these front tail headlights look more they come from a Hyundai Tiburon than a Supra. But still, the core idea is there. All right. It's fully restored. Can sell it, and we'll sell it for $94,000, and I bought it for $9,000. So that's a good return on investment. And then this one we'll see because it's not quite perfect. There is one part that I was unable to remove because there's a part called the rear clamshell that I can't remove. I'll give it one more try. Yeah, no, I don't. Hold on. No, not move it. Let's put it back together. Okay, yeah, no, that's all as expected. Yeah, so there's one part that I can't find and repair. So the body is not in perfect condition. But what can we sell for? $350,000. That's still a lot of money. All right. We are $10,000 short of having $1 million. All right. So let's go back to the car auction. So at some point, I will actually drive one. Not these two. I'm going to drive a car when I finally find a car for me, a car that I want to keep. That is when I will drive a car. The two cars I'm looking for right now are the Datsun 280. Ooh, DC Typhoon, that's actually pretty cool. Looking for a Datsun 280, and then I'm looking for the knockoff Lamborghini. Not here. I do have an RX-7. At some point I'd like to buy an RX-7. Nope, no luck there. Nothing in the auction I want. Okay, well, auction was disappointing. Let's go to the junkyard and see if the junkyard has anything that I want. I'm actually going to AFK for just a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. Oh, I see there's a complaint about the way I'm, about what it says. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can fix that. Oh, no, let's not do that. I just want to move the whole thing over. There. Now we've got our mini BRB. But I am back, so that needs to go away. All right. At the junkyard. We're going to find something I want here. Oh, this has got to be an old Mustang. Yeah, this is an old Mustang ripoff. Oh, this is a Ferrari. How much would the Ferrari be? $33,000. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and buy that. It'd be nice to rebuild a Ferrari. There's really not a lot of cars in the junkyard today. Or, I mean, there's a lot of cars, but none of them are in good enough condition to salvage even. Normally there's more salvageable cars than this. Do have another Toyota Supra that I can buy. We'll go ahead and buy that. They make really good money on the, or I make really good money on restoring Supras, which is probably accurate. Okay, well, I'm going to take my little girl's advice. I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to come back. Or I'm actually going to go to the auction again first. Okay. Actually, I'll just take a quick look at the car salon. Don't think there's going to be any cars I want here, but you never know unless you go looking. All right, so I've got a new Mitsubishi Eclipse. We've got a brand new Dodge Viper. I am not buying a brand new Dodge Viper. $150,000 to buy a brand new Viper. Not doing it. Then we have I assume this is supposed to be something like a Land Rover. And that's it. Those are the only options I get at the car salon. So we'll go leave. Okay, back to the car auctions. Nope, nothing particularly interesting in the regular car auction. Let's look at the salvage auction. Aston Martin DBS. Might also be willing to give that a shot. And Aston Martin is definitely a car I'm going to try to get at some point. You like the new sunglasses emoji, but not the other ones? Oh, I didn't realize there was multiple cats in boxes emojis. Nope, nothing exciting in the car auctions. The cars I'm looking for are proving to be very hard to find. All right, back to the junkyard. All right, and what's the junkyard got this time? An El Camino. Definitely a interesting car. A Nissan 350. This is a what? A Pinto? No, not a Pinto. Actually, it might be a Pinto, but something equivalent, like a Chevy Chevelle or Chevette, whatever the tiny Chevy was called. Oh wait, what is this? Oh, this is McLaren. I'm sure I can't afford it. Oh, I can afford one. Long tail too. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend a whack ton of money. I am now down to 300,000. We were so close to a million. We are not anywhere close to a million anymore. And that is a Mitsubishi. So hopefully don't now find the dream car I wanted, because I don't think I can afford the dream car I wanted now. It'd be a little bit heartbreaking. And this is, yeah, basically a early year Mitsubishi Eclipse. I am sad that cars like the Mitsubishi Eclipse are dead. They were just such good cars. All-wheel drive, which meant they were actually pretty decent as a year-round car, even in the snow. And not too expensive. I would love to have options beyond a WRX. that I have these days. Oh, and another Toyota Supra. Well, $20,000 for another Supra. Why not? We'll go ahead and buy it. They're always a good return on investment. Because the game lets you pick them up for pretty cheap and they still sell for a lot. Alright, that's everything. So, my dream car is still elusive. Alright, so we are down to 285,000 from 1 million. All right, I guess so. Then the question is, what car do I restore? Do I restore a McLaren F1, a Toyota Supra, which I've already done twice today, or a Ferrari? Oh, I don't actually want to go to my garage. Or I don't want to go to the parking, but we've got two Toyota Supras around here currently. I think I should have enough money to restore one of the high-end cars, but I'm going to have to restore only one of them first. I don't think I'm going to get away with trying to restore both simultaneously. The parts are going to be more expensive, but 280,000 should cover, at the very least, it should cover restoration of the Ferrari. And if I start to run low on money while repairing the McLaren, I can always actually just take regular mechanic jobs, which don't really cost me much money, and pay out. So I should be able to manage. All right. We will try the most expensive Juan first. Clean the interior. Clean the exterior. We'll move this back into the shop. All right. Now let's pull everything we can off of it. So you'll notice actually one interesting thing in this car, the driver's seat here is in the middle of the car. That is so McLarens, because they are based off of formula cars, they are actually a three-seater where you put the passenger seats on either side. This seems to be a racing variant that doesn't actually have any seats. So you only get the driver's seat. There's only a seat for one person. So even normally, these are a very small car. Very cramped, they are a very interesting car, very uniquely laid out. And the engine is in the back. It is behind the driver. This is one of those cars that has a lot of fans. The people who really like this car absolutely love this car. I am not the hugest fan of it. I think it is really neat. If I could have a garage with like 10 cars and no matter how expensive they are, this still wouldn't actually be one of them, even though it is probably one of the of very expensive cars, of $1 million cars. This is one of the few that I really like. I'm not a big fan of cars like the Bugatti Veyron. All right, so that engine is ready to come out. But let's get that front pulled apart. I guess I'll have to find out. This one came with no tires, so I'll have to find out what tire or what rims and tires are supposed to go on it. All right. So let's drop that body and pull out that engine. As well as now this part. Now, so we're going to use the welder to fix that. This is not actually what you would be able to do in real life. In real life, there is nothing you could weld on this frame because it is all actually made out of carbon fiber. It's a carbon fiber tub. Actually, no, I think this is not a carbon fiber tub. This was actually built at a time before they were using $40,000 to weld up the frame. That's expensive. Not unexpected, but definitely still expensive. All right, let's see. Are there any parts left on here? Car part 3E. I have no clue what that is. Oh, there. The roof scoop. So there. The entire car is now stripped down to nothing but its bare shell. Time to go strip that engine down to its final bits. And of course, this is a bit of an impressive engine. It's a very high revving V12. At least I'm pretty sure it's a V12. Yes, it is a V12. All right. That way the timing chain tensioner here is keeping this. Yeah, now I don't actually know what this engine is modeled from. This is a modded car, so they wouldn't have been able to mod in the right factory engine for McLaren F1. So this is probably a either a Lamborghini or Ferrari style V12. All right, let's take all these 12 pistons out. There'll be 6 on each side. That's the text is the Skittles trying to free themselves. but they don't know how to actually text. So it's all garbled. All right, now I don't have anything to separate. I also don't have anything to separate for wheels, do I? No. So I just have things to repair. Now, most of the stuff is just going to be regular parts. A lot of the parts here are going to be regular cheap parts, but then there are going to be some parts that are going to be quite expensive. Not a Skittles rebellion, a Skittles revolution. Now, I imagine these V12 heads are going to be expensive, so I would definitely prefer to repair them. But it looks like I'm not going to have the option to repair the block, so I'm going to need to buy a new block. Okay. Time to go shopping. So the engine block for this is expensive, but for what it was, not that expensive. $3,500 for an engine of this rarity, you would never be able to get away with in real life. This would be a much more expensive engine. But because this game doesn't, these parts are shared between different things, is why I get away with that. So that's where this rebuild is going to be cheaper than it should be. The same way, like in real life, these pistons would be more expensive than regular pistons. Why? Because they would be lightweight, high precision pistons. Something that this game doesn't take into account. Now, what is this? Okay, so let's go back to that tablet. So the V12 power steering pump, the V12 oil filter, just a regular generic fuel filter, new flywheel. Oh, how many rod caps do I? Oh, rod caps I know. How many crankshaft caps do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes sense. That is what I would expect. Rod caps I need 12. Yeah, I guess I have Skittles that I'm going to have to throw away because I'm not allowed to have them. They will die of depression right along with me. But what? Oh, that's the inside of the flywheel. No, your flywheel should not be inside your motor. Violence against Skittles will not be tolerated. So, oh, I'll free the Skittles, all right. I'll free the Skittles right into my belly. You could have a flywheel inside a motor, and it is actually a thing that has been done. It's not a great idea. Because really the question of whether you're putting it on, like if you put it inside the motor, now it is exposed to oil, which isn't a problem for the flywheel, but that means that you now have that needs to be within a contained sealed area rather than just being outside where you don't have to worry about oil sealing. Actually, I guess we can spin this right around. All right, so here we've got our V12 block. So it's basically two inline sixes joined together make a V12. So it makes for a very long block. Normally V engines seem very blocky and stubby, very square. But when they're this long, they start to feel narrow again. Not as narrow as an inline six, obviously, but. And then we put down our two heads. And both of these are going to need intake and exhaust dealt with, which that's a lot of intake and exhaust to do. And because this is a rear engine car, it's not as simple as just get the exhaust and intake out. You actually need to look at how do you get it out without basically your exhaust needs to exit the vehicle while still having done its job, even though the back of the vehicle is going to be very close by. Because in a regular car, you've got the length of the car to get the muffler and exhaust all set up. Here, the exhaust is probably actually going to go forward so that it has more room to do everything it needs to do before it goes back. Then so we've got our V12 oil pan. I mean, it sounds to me like I would rather cross the border tonight and then actually no, I guess yeah, the way that your hours work, it would not be worth it. Rather just cross early in the morning. Yeah, it's funny that a rear engine car makes a whole pile of new problems that you have to kind of creatively solve. All right, so I need 20 of these caps. Oh, the exhaust is actually headed back. We'll see how the exhaust actually goes on this. This is a modded car, so they're having to work with whatever is put in here by like whatever they modeled for the other V12 cars in the game already. So we'll see. There'll be some interesting. And another oil pan that's held in just by 4 bolts. Man, I wish oil pans were just held in by 4 bolts. That'd make my life so much easier. All right, so we need 4 cam gears and 20 camshaft caps. That is quite a lot. Now that is a interesting timing chain way to do things, but it's actually not a bad one. I feel like that's interesting, but not a way that makes me hate engineers. Okay, so let's go shopping for oh, it's actually a timing belt, not a timing chain. I can't imagine in real life that this would be a timing belt instead of timing chain. Such a high pressure engine, you're probably going to want timing chain. In fact, I don't even know, like, now I want to know, what do Formula 1 cars use? Because I kind of feel like they probably don't use either. Oh, that's a big plenum. This is the intake manifold is quite the construction. Now, is this okay? Yeah, they've only modeled 2 bolts on either end. In real life, this would be held down by a variety of bolts on either side. And then we're going to have 1 fuel rail down the middle. That's interesting. Oh, I've made myself a problem. Oh, no, you can get to all of those. Okay. I have not made myself a problem. This is good. That's really close to about the same temperatures that we're looking at. Our days keep going into the positives, but only just barely. And then the nights are a couple degrees, like I think it was -3 degrees Celsius this morning. Oh, what did I just drop? I just dropped the camera. Okay, so there's 3 different timing covers. These are actually, the two sides are different from each other. Then we have our interesting fuel rail. Throttle bodies are the same though. Clutch is the same as everything else in this game, which I am a little bit grateful for. At least they kept transmission simple. So we need 12 ignition coils. Okay, so that's got to be the water pump. Oh, and then we have a fourth little timing cover, of course, because it jumps over. That is interesting. That's a really just an odd setup. So in most things I work with, they have two timing covers. This thing is its own special, interesting setup, and it has 4 timing covers. So you've got to have this little timing cover to cover that little bridge that it does. And now I really want to know what this timing setup is based off of, because I have never seen this in real life. I've also never worked on Lamborghinis and Ferraris, so I've had a Ferrari in our shop once, but I checked it out. I did not work on it. You're offended by the word little? That's right, I started. No, there. I've got all of that together now. Let's go buy that belt. Not, it is improper. Mini or nothing. All right, well, I think that is now ready to go back into the car. So we'll take that off and bring it over here and put it in. So there, now we've got that fully assembled engine in. Time to look at putting the rest of everything back together. Well, we need a new gearbox for that. I'm sure that'll be so affordable. New steering knuckles on both sides. That has got to be the fuel tank. Oh. Now I missed these earlier. We'll bring the whole thing down and take out the fuses. Not a bad cost for the transmission. Yep, that is the fuel tank. That's a really weird fuel tank, but I would expect that out of a rear engine car or a mid-engine car. Okay, so just to make sure there is nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing else in the car. So I'd probably learn better if I didn't have to also deal with skittle withdrawal. But you are too harsh. There is no being saved from skittle withdrawal. Nope, that is not what I meant to do. Pull that back out. We are out of relay type 1, then we will get more relays. We will not put junky relays back in. Oh, and it's got 2 radiators. And I think that is accurate. I think this car does actually have 2 radiators. The front gets a whole bunch of other things in it that are not basically it turns into your trunk. It does also get other things like the steering still has to happen up there, and they still do put the cooling radiators. Your coolant system still goes all the way up to the front. Not on all of them, but on many. So it's when you don't have to have an engine up front, you can put other things up there. Although most of the time that also means the car ends up being a lot like a lot shorter in the front. You sit farther up front compared, and so it doesn't there isn't much room. They don't have a big trunk up front. But these type of cars tend to be very small anyway. they're not cargo vehicles. They're not meant to carry a lot in a trunk. They are mini cars. Oh, I don't understand. I thought I... Alright, well. I think we've got still brake parts going on the lathe, so we probably have the right part for that. Okay. I think this is the last. Yeah, I don't have any more brake parts to go down. Did I pull suspension off here? Do I have suspension parts to break down? I do not. That is fine. Time to go shopping. We were just in the right place for that. Alright, so we need sway bar, inner and outer tie rods, but we'll get to that in a moment. We won't worry about it for now. Just get 4. There's no harm in having extra of those. We go through those fast enough, and we'll only need 1 of those. We need more regular rubber bushings. Nope, not the mini ones. These are just regular sized rubber bushings. We still have enough mini rubber bushings. Okay, and we also need calipers. Oh, so this is 2 fuel tanks in here. That is quite interesting. There's 2 fuel cells put together. And I will have to go searching for what parts I need for that suspension. See, it won't tell me here. Yep, I needed those already. And those are broken, so those get added in. Alright, so I'm gonna have to go looking in the car parts here for what I'm... So I need double wishbone shock absorber and double wishbone shock absorber rear. I think I can do that. So we need 2 rear springs. We need 2 caps. We need 2 double wishbone and 2 double wishbone. And then I need 2 front springs and 2 front caps. And then I should put that all together. So while I'm doing that, let's also take a look and see if I can find what tires I need. Rim Classic 13, but that doesn't tell me what size I need. I think I'm gonna have to take a look online. Yeah, I can't seem to actually find what tire size I need. There, okay. I think I've found it. So that was Classic Rim 13. So that is these. We'll do them with the black. No, don't know I'm going that high. I need 4 of them. So we will need 19-inch rims. Oh, so I need a different ET front and rear. Okay, so we'll buy those, and then we'll buy 2 without. And then the tires are going to be slicks. And then these are also going to be split front and rear differently. So the front is going to be 225, 35, 19. Hopefully these are correct because I'd hate to have to buy these again later through trial and error. And the rear's a 325. Those are some wide tires. All right. Nope. Ah, well, we'll fix that in a moment. Let's make sure we get, so the ET5s were front. Where we want the small tires. And then this ET5 with the other small tire. Now, these I should be able to just toss together, however. And that should now be, yes, I've got all those parts joined together. No, let's not separate, let's put them together. Once again, terrible, terrible balancing. Awful balancing. Especially on such a high-speed car, you need to get your balancing much more precise when the car is going to be moving at high speeds. And we're doing terrible, terrible balancing. Okay, so we've got all of that. We're just going to buy a few of those. And a few of those. One fuel pump. Okay, so we need to add that axle to the shopping list. Okay, suspension's all together. We just need to get a few final details in. And we'll be ready to drop it down and put everything else around. Okay, we've got the outer tie rods. We need one axle, and we need 2 sway bar links. Alright, now let's put on the tires. Now we need to make sure we put the front tires on the front, otherwise everything's going to look horribly wrong. Nope, that's the wrong one. That is much too wide. This is one of those cars that needs really wide tires at the back because you want a ton of grip. But the front tires don't need to be as wide. In fact, the front tires simply can't be as wide because they also need to be able to turn. Yes, very wide mini tires. Now I think we should be able to actually drop it down onto the ground. Oh, do we need it partly in the air to install those? Or do we need body? I don't know. Oh, I forgot to put the... Oh, we can put the fuel pump in while it's on the ground. I like that. I am happy with that. Put in the air filter. Alright, let's go shopping. We need the brake servo, windshield washer fluid reservoir, coolant reservoir. There. Currently got 2 floating radiators because we don't have the rest of the body there. But it is time to look at what we can do to put... Time to go shopping for body parts. There's so many parts going on here. And I'm quickly eating through my money. Okay, let's see how many parts we can put together. That is what I thought. That was not. So many parts. Your battery is running low. That is fair. That is understandable. Okay, so we got the front bumper. There. Let's get all of these parts put in. Oh, still missing a part there. Oh, I think I bought 2 of those I did not need. You have a good night. We will see you next week. Actually, I should be streaming on Saturday, so hopefully we'll see you on Saturday. I think these doors are different. Am I correct? Yes, that is a non... Okay. So I need the right. Okay, so now I'm probably missing parts off this car still. Engine cover, the seat and steering wheel. Okay. Okay, so the seat is steering wheel Bandit and seat is GW500. I did not mean to be done shopping. There. $6,000 for an engine cover. All right, let's take this car to the paint shop. And let's paint it. Factory colors, it only comes in white. Well, that's not actually surprising because it is a race car. It was going to come in. I feel like that rear ET is wrong. That offset is not quite right. Those tires should be a little bit farther out. Okay. I think we'll say screw it. We'll go with a paint scheme for it. We'll just clean it all up a little bit nicely. But then we'll just leave it as is. That's fine. We will paint that. Okay. So the car is completely done and will sell for 13 million. So we're down to $23,000 in what we've got. So I feel like I could play around with those tire sizings a little bit more to figure it out, but I'm also happy to just let this car go away. And for 13 million, we're not going to worry about money again for a while. All right, let's sell that car. Cha-ching. All right. That means that definitely won't have to be in a hurry to sell this Ferrari anymore. Still just give her a quick, nope, not to the paint shop, to the car wash. Just give her a quick clean up. Clean up the interior. Move it back to where it was. And let's weld up that frame while we're here. Nope, we don't need to fix that more. We've already done it. Either way, so that'll be one of the projects for next time. So somewhere, probably in the paint shop, is a car that should not be in the paint shop. Nope, not here. Also not here. Oh, it is in the car wash. Yeah, we may as well wash this while we're here. And we'll move it back outside. Either way, I think I'm going to call the stream there. We certainly turned a investment around. Got ourselves up to 1 million. Used all of it to restore one car, and then came out with 13.5 million. Definitely not going to be angry about that. But either way, thank you for hanging out with me. We will see you probably on Saturday and definitely next Monday. But if you're tuning in for this later, I hope you have a good morning, good evening, or a good night, whenever this finds you. And we'll see you later.